I don't usually make videos about comics because the comic industry is kind of a shit show right now. But I couldn't not chime in about this one. I love the New Warriors. That original run back in the 90s is up there with the X-Men for me. It's one of my favorite runs on any comic ever. And frankly, the Warriors haven't had a good run in a long, long time. Now Marvel's rebooting it again, and, wow. Uh, Alright, let's just watch this thing.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s, and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher who had a blade.
You didn't like
out
that
of
they
his
were
wrist.
cool?
Nova was really buff.
Why are you writing a New
edgy
Warriors book
characters,
then?
For the 90s, as the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around for 30 years.
I don't believe this guy has ever even read the book.
Like Loki and Black Panther versus Deadpool asked if I would be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in that actually poses them as the authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels, and I really liked the tension of that. So because the New Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring new Warriors who are
Please
under
don't call a
21
book that.
and subject to the laws that triggered the Outlawed event. This new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21.
What?
The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors and gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes to sort of feel classic and instantly familiar. So the
This
first
you think
character
is
that we're
modern?
introduced to is Trailblazer. She's
Oh,
a
God.
group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and
What
Night
the
Thrasher runs to the rescue. And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law. And she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of divine origin. We picked the name Trailblazer.
Oh, a magic
because
backpack
she's
that can fit as many
charges into
school books in
action.
her.
She knows that she can do
wants.
some good with this, mysterious gift that she's been given.
Oh yeah,
Screen
charging
time
into
is
action,
a
yeah.
internet
Yeah, I'm sure
kid
she's doing
taken
lots of
to its
charging.
logical
Yeah, she looks like a
conclusion.
runner with
As
that
a
body
youth,
type.
He was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas, and that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web. The word screen time is only ever
gas?
used in a sort of restrictive sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of the names are about teens fighting against labels that are put on them. So with screen time, we liked the idea that he has infinite screen time. Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins.
So
and
he's
their
just
names are very
permanently on the
similar
internet?
to screen time. It's this idea
Oh my
that these
God.
are terms
What
that
the
get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as
Is this a prank?
derogatory to take.
Is Marvel
those
just pranking
words
us with this
and
shit?
kind of wear them as
What the
badges of honor. Safe Space is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only.
How many
trigger them
jocks have
if
you
he's
actually
protecting
seen?
Somebody else.
This is what you think jocks look
non-binary
like?
And goes by they, them. Snowflake has the power to generate
Oh my
individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens. The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile. And this is a character
Yes, that's why a
who
superhero
is,
wouldn't call themselves that.
turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power.
That's
and
not
Safe
how
Space
that
is the
works.
person who has the more defensive power. The idea was that they would mirror each other and complement each other. E negative is the goth.
Oh my
kid.
God, with these
When
names.
he was a baby, he got
What were they
a
thinking with
rogue
this?
life-saving blood transfusion, we assume from Michael Morbius. And now he has a very similar look and very similar vampire powers. B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which
Is
is
it?
great for a vampire character. And
Is
it's
it really?
also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people who read our New Warriors to feel all of the excitement that they felt if they read the 90s one. We want it to have big, colorful
Dude, look up
characters,
excitement in the
personality
dictionary. This ain't it.
clashes, romance, a diverse cast, which is something that the New Warriors titles have always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like a reflection of the year that it came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested about it being now.
Okay, this guy. 90-pound beta male, looks like something you'd floss your teeth with. The first thing he says is that he thought the New Warriors were too cool for him, that they were intimidating to him because Night Thrasher had a knife. He got triggered by cutlery, probably didn't even read the damn book, so why the f*** are you writing the New Warriors then? Apparently he didn't even have to pitch for it. Some brain trust at Marvel just came up to him and offered him the job. Presumably because they wanted to kill the IP off. Charging into battle? What are you smoking? Look at this chick. The only charging she's doing is into the candy aisle at Walmart. Let's do a compare and contrast for a second here. This is the original New Warriors team. Look at the women. Firestar, smoking hot redhead, looks like a fiery angel. Namorita, built like a Greek goddess that can kick your ass and break your heart at the same time. These women look like superheroes. Women want to be them, men want to be with them. How the f*** do you go from this to this? Some overweight looking chick in a sweatsuit you wouldn't even notice if you passed her on the street? Who the hell is this supposed to appeal to? What kind of message are you sending here? Hey, New Warriors fans, be like Trailblazer and you can get diabetes in your teens too. Trailblazer. What trails is she blazing? The trails in the field of competitive pie eating? Why don't you try hiking a few trails, maybe burn off a few of those extra pounds? You know why you don't often see obese superheroes? Because they're so out of shape they tend to die really quickly. Oh, and her superpower is a magic backpack that looks 2 sizes too small for her because she's so overweight. Dr. Doom don't want none of this, y'all. What the f*** is internet gas? Actually, screw it. I'm happy you're not knowing. Screen time is permanently hooked up to the internet. So basically, he has all the superpowers of an iPhone. The original New Warriors fought Terrax in their first issue, and they beat him. Can you imagine this idiot going up against a Herald of Galactus? Whoa, keep a safe distance, Terrax, or he'll give you a malware infection.
Safe Space is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. Kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock.
Big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. Big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock.
Right, because lots of stereotypical jocks wear form-fitting skin-tight pink singlets that hug the buttocks. And he makes force fields that only work if he's protecting someone else, meaning that in a one-on-one fight he's completely useless. Truly the ultimate hero for the soy generation. Look at me, I make shurikens out of ice that I can throw at people! Watch out, Iceman, there's a new kid in town! And I'm gonna call myself Snowflake because snowflakes are fragile and that's gonna make me appeal to Tumblr fangirls who get triggered when people tag their hate! This is some pretty suggestive body language. Are these two supposed to be twins or lovers? Or are they both? That didn't go over too well when you tried it with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, you know. Goth? Is that even still a thing? This guy looks like a reject from some 1980s British punk band. But you're not worried about being dated, right? Holy f***, this book was dated before the video even stopped playing. So basically, these New Warriors labeled themselves with monikers that people use to mock idiots on Twitter. And you think this stupid shit is gonna make these characters hip with the young people? You think normal comic readers are gonna want to be like this? Jesus, the New Warriors really were too cool for this jackass. Marvel, at what point did you lose touch with reality? This looks like a parody of a superhero team. You want a book that appeals to teens? Try writing one that teenagers won't laugh at and use to make memes to mock you with. What teenagers are gonna be interested in this? Who the hell was this book made for? It wasn't made for New Warriors fans, obviously. And it wasn't made for Twitter SJWs because those people don't buy comics. Frankly, it feels like a book made to just mock real comic fans on YouTube. Fans like me. But the joke's on you, idiots, because I'm not buying your comics right now, and trash like this is the reason why. So congratulations, Marvel, you finally did it. You found the one comic book that no one will read, you killed one of the best IPs you had that appealed to young fans, and you just put another 50, 60 comic shops out of business. So do yourselves a favor. Get off social media and go back to counting all that sweet Avengers Endgame money, because it's the only thing keeping your comics division in business anymore. Like, share, subscribe. this book.